What's up, everybody? How you doing? Happy Monday to you. So Mike Caluzzi here, coming from you live from Morristown, New Jersey, as I am been traveling this weekend for some family events, heading back to Florida in about a few hours. But I wanted to get this video to you, and believe it or not, it's my third attempt to do so because there's been some technical challenges. But what do we do as professionals? We move forward, we rise above, and we keep moving forward, right? Despite the challenges. That's the absolute key that we all have to do as small business people, service-based professionals, and entrepreneurs. That is imperative. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk to you about some helpful tips and some questions that I'm going to ask you to ask yourself if you're really frustrated with the rate of growth in your business. All right. So I focus primarily on working with service-based professionals, a lot of licensed professionals, attorneys, engineers, CPAs, a lot of left brain type folks who are so used to providing really technical, refined answers, technical service people to their clients, but who struggle and are frustrated with their current career. You know, they're not growing the business the way they like. They're overwhelmed. They're looking for better ways to improve their income sources and regain time freedom. And it all really revolves around just building a better model, particularly with respect to creating the qualified leads that are required in order to get the qualified clients that are going to generate the revenue that you deserve to grow your business. So if you are someone who is frustrated in the rate of their growth of their business, pay attention. We'll listen to this video, and I ask you to comment in the comments to let me know if this is things that are engaging to and helpful to you. All right. So if you are watching the video live as well, just type live in the chat box. And if you're watching it on replay, just click on replay. So as we move forward, I'm going to keep this brief. So I'm going to move forward right now on giving you some insights on how to eliminate that frustration in when you look at your business and the growth rate. So first thing, as I say, with a lot of folks who are doing small business people and entrepreneurs and service-based professionals is, are you casting too wide of a net on your audience? Now, oftentimes what happens is we want to get, service and help as many people as we possibly could. And that makes a lot of sense. However, the problem is that if you are not delivering a clear branded message to a targeted niche audience who represents your ideal client, more than likely the message that you're sending out there is just being ignored. All right. So for folks who are in this space, who help others to create a really well-defined brand message, it's all about being able to, like I said, niche down specifically to identify a pain point that our ideal client is looking to solve, and you providing with a qualified and quantifiable result for them to achieve that result that they're looking for. If not, again, you will not be able to get them to what they call stop the scroll. All right, think about yourself. Think about when you're in that entranced situation where you're just, you're scrolling away on your phone, but then all of a sudden there's something that says, wow, that's something, there's a message here that is relatable to me. Okay. If you look back on what you're doing on your particular marketing and your branding and who you're relating to, and you can honestly say, hey, this is not specific enough, well, that's going to play out specifically on how and what type of return you're getting on the engagement of your post. So that's extremely important. So it's time to niche down, right? Number two, no matter how big or small your business is, you gotta know your numbers. Now, again, a lot of the folks I deal with, solopreneurs, right, are people with a small number of partners or employees or collaborators. Most of us are working in the business, not on the business. And we don't really know how our numbers well enough, right? We're just kind of just focusing on the revenue generation, focusing on just doing the highest, the tallest flame each and every day. But you have to know your numbers, because if you don't understand your numbers and you don't have a systematic approach where You can evaluate where your fixed costs are, where your variable costs are, where your revenue sources are coming in, how you can do real meaningful projections. Then you're kind of winging it. So you don't want to wing it. So you have to measure your results. So what I typically do with folks is when they do work with me, I'll ask to see their numbers, and then oftentimes it's I hate to say it, but they're not organized well enough. So I usually will work with them to bring in a third party bookkeeper. Primarily, you just need a bookkeeper for the most part. You don't necessarily need some full blown CPA firm or what have you. No dig to them. I mean, there's a service and time for all of them, and that may be the case depending on what your business is. But typically, it just requires a bookkeeper who will do those monthlies, right? So you can get an up to date operating statement, operating profit and loss statement, kind of see where you are from a cash flow standpoint, and be able to make evaluations, meaningful evaluations that will help you make really prudent business decisions. Okay. Third point I'd like to talk to you about is getting an outside and detached perspective. Most of us are, again, so entrenched in our businesses, it's very difficult to see the forest through the trees. That is something that I think we're all guilty of. I know for me individually, it wasn't until I actually hired my first business coach and then many business coaches thereafter, where I was able to gain their wisdom from looking at what I'm doing from a detached perspective. Okay. And then my willingness to accept that objective feedback. You've got to act exactly the same thing. All right. So that's really, really, really important. So if you find this helpful, or from resonating with you in any way, type a Y in the chat box. Okay. Now, one of the other things that I find, particularly with folks who are, again, service-based professionals, accountants, lawyers, engineers, wherein the result that you deliver to your clients really requires zero margin of error. It has to be precise. The problem with that, with respect to business, sales, and marketing in particular, is that that level of perfectionism is going to keep you stuck in analytical mode far too much. You've got to get out there and engage with with your core audience and refine it as it goes. Okay. And get the feedback that's required. Because I will tell you flat out, more than likely, you are not doing nearly the amount of marketing that's required to make an impact, whether it be on social media marketing, internet marketing, right? Whatever it is, I guarantee you are not doing enough. As I mentioned to you earlier about, niching down and having people stop to scroll, people are being bombarded with messaging at all times. So you have to recognize that in order for you to be heard or seen, you've got to deliver content that's quality, persistent, and consistent over a long period of time. Okay, so that you can then start having people rely upon you as a trusted resource and source. So stop being a perfectionist, okay, and then ramp up your activity. So this is really, really important. Last thing I want to talk to you about is the importance of celebrating your business. Now, I work with a lot of people who are overwhelmed and frustrated in their business. Therefore, it's very challenging for them to be able to, promote it with a smile or have positive energy associated with their business. I totally understand. Okay. But recognize that whatever energy that you are emitting and relate to your business, that's what's going out to the world. Okay. So if you're not excited about what it is that you offer to the world, you're frustrated about it, you're upset, you're overwhelmed. That's what's going out there. Okay. So you need to change your tune. All right. Now, again, if you think about the idea of getting some detached feedback, the beautiful thing about getting the detached feedback is that it really oftentimes will reignite some real hope and level of excitement into your business because it's a new, fresh perspective. And if you think about, any time in your life when there's a renewed uh, uh, view at things, right? You have a new approach. It creates excitement. It creates things where you develop hope again, right? So hope is such a powerful thing. And if you in your business really are hopeful and inspired in what you're doing, right? That's going to emanate forward. So if you're lacking that, you need someone to help you get to that point. All right. So that's extremely, extremely important. So again, if this is resonating with you, type a Y in the chat box. Now, you have to think about this. At the end of the day, when you do these things, just these things alone, and listen, I get it. I talk fast. I try to get as much content in as possible. Re-listen to these things. Write down the bullet points, okay? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we all are striving to build our business to create maximized income impact for ourselves so that we can then do what we want with our time. That's extremely important. So if you are one of those service-based professionals and you're looking to maximize your income, your time freedom, eliminate overwhelm and frustration in your business, then these are things that I am helping you with and can help you with through this video, but even more digging in deeper on that one-on-one scenario. So I do offer a free 20-minute coaching session for anybody who's interested, who are looking to achieve all those things. I have a series of questions that I will ask you during the course of that conversation, so that it's very directed for me to get a clear understanding of what it is that's important to you, okay, and what you're currently doing to achieve those goals, and then where those vulnerability spots are. That's super critical. And from that point, we are able to dedicate the time to understand whether or not we would represent a good fit to work together to achieve the goals that you're seeking. So again, my name is Mike Caluzzi, and I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it was helpful. If it was, please comment below, share it with somebody who you feel would gain benefit. And again, feel free to reach out to me, DM me right here on LinkedIn, or send me an email at mike@mikecaluzzi.com so we can arrange that 20-minute conversation for you. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon.